Oh my god, I am so sorry, folks. I am I don't mean to keep y'all waiting. I had to deal with a few things and a couple phone calls that came in, so I do apologize. Um, y'all, please take the noise that way. I love you guys, but go that way. I am so sorry, folks. As you know, my life is always complicated, and I just realized I'm screaming at myself from my own other platform thing. Okay, let's see. There's a few things I wanted to get to today. Um, I'm pretty sure I'm okay the way I am. Okay, so um God, what a day. I've not been doing great. We went to bed with the windows open because it was like 70 degrees outside at 9 o'clock last night. Woke up to about 10 minutes before a massive snow hit. We ended up with probably about a half inch of snow. Um, but around 6 o'clock this morning, it just came down all at once. Then I found out that there is I mean, yesterday we were under flood watch the entire day, and it turns out the areas northeast of me got hit the hardest. And actually, quite a few roads in our area are flooded out too. But we're just, where I'm at, we're pretty safe. Nothing to worry about. Um, damn it. My Oh my god. I can't win today. Everything is falling all over the place. So I've not been feeling great. I want to get through today. Anyone wants to jump up and join me, drop a message in the chat and I will drop a link to you, either where you can get it or over on Discord, whatever. I'm not too worried. I know people are busy today. It's a church day. It's a family day. That's why 90% of my family is here right now. We still don't know for a fact kids are going to have school tomorrow, so we're kind of playing it by ear how this is going to go. Um, One of the few things I wanted to talk about today is a bit of an update from the border. I was watching a brief video um, that AOC has been out handing out pamphlets telling people how to avoid ICE. So evidently Tom Homan is like, yeah, you know what? That's not going to fly with me. And he, I guess, is going to bring her up in front of the DOJ and see what they can do about it. That was from Liberal Hive Mind, is where I caught that bit of info. And hold on, let me see. My brain is so scattered. I am absolutely sorry. I'm a little bit all over the place. So let's go with this little show note thing first. I want to talk about a few things and then I will cover the stuff I cannot cover on YouTube. I will cover those up on Rumble only. Um Hold on. I'm trying to keep a very close eye on my RAM and my CPU. I'm just keeping an eye on this. I want to make sure it's going to behave itself. Um, but I want to show this absolutely adorable historical video. This is RFK Jr. right here, this little kitty here, and he's showing his uncle a salamander, a pet salamander that he caught. I gotta mute it because of the music, but this is absolutely adorable. RFK Jr., who is now running our Department of Health and Human Services type of stuff, the DHS, and he's got a cute little pet salamander. So I wanted to share this. Oh, just muted that. I can't win today. But yeah, it's so cute to see RFK Jr., that itty bitty, showing off a salamander to his uncle, who was president at the time. That is just so awesome. Who would have known back then that this little boy was going to grow up? This little kid here was going to grow up to help run our country. Who would have known? It's just mind-boggling that that little kid right there, adorable little boy, was gonna grow up and, help run and make our country healthier and safer. Absolutely adore it. Um, I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth between the sharing of the screen because I don't want to absolutely kill things on my PC. It seems to be doing pretty good right now. I'm not gonna complain. Um, I was digging in on something and oh my god, it's gonna do this to me, isn't it? Okay, hold on. We're gonna move this over here and then we're gonna go right here. So it'll open on this one. Okay, how are we holding up? Not too bad. Okay. So the next little tidbit I got for y'all. This is interesting. And I didn't know this. I actually did a Google check. Stop. And this is a trivia type place that I like to pay attention to. But it turns out Abraham Lincoln was the first American president to have a beard. Little bit of presidential trivia for you guys. Even though, most people don't care. It's something I actually enjoy. You can leave the room. You're annoying me. Go. Go do something else. My ex-husband's annoying me. Go. Go. Quit being a child. I'm in the middle of something important. I will tase you.
The taser don't work. Remember?
You want to find out? Come here. I'm sure the audience would love to hear this. Okay. And he's an adult. I'm not threatening anything that's dangerous or anything like that. So, yeah. I'm so sorry. Hi, Arby. Oh my god. The Grub King. Yes. But I do have a little cheap taser that I got online for when he steps out of line. All I gotta do is like zap it a couple times and he goes running. Um so yeah. But the next thing I am so all over the place today. And it has nothing to do with the chat. This really doesn't. This is just my brain is not functioning today. It's like I don't want to cooperate. You don't deserve to cooperate. And my brain's just like, screw you. That's really all my brain is going to today. So, shit. Um, damn it. My hands hate me. Oh my god, my hands hate me. What is going on today? Okay, back to what I was doing. I am so ADHD bouncing off the walls today. I don't know. Next topic I want to cover briefly is where the hell is all the PETA people on this one? Okay. I want to know where PETA's at, where they've been at, and why is it only Republicans having a frickin' fit about this? Watch this crazy shit. Oh, let me do screen share before I do anything else. Screen share. Where are we? This one. Okay. This is interesting.
We spent $20 billion to freak out a bunch of pets.
Injecting puppies with cocaine, staging hamster fight clubs, putting dead turtles on treadmills. Cats have marbles shoved up their rectums and are electroshocked to make them defecate in constipation experiments. Examine the effects of party drugs on animals injected with testosterone.
Who are we buying the cocaine from?
How is our government doing this to animals and no one's having a fit until Elon Musk and a bunch of his buddies jumped in and basically said, hey, look what they're doing. Look what these jackasses are actually doing. And no, the sad part is, where's PETA? I haven't seen PETA outraged. Where's all the leftists that are the vegan people and the animal rights activists besides PETA? Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? Let me just post this up here for a second. Yeah, that's probably the case. And it makes you wonder what the hell is wrong with people. Seriously, what is wrong with them that they're letting the animals be tortured that way? Would we do that to humans?
Yes.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be shoving marbles up a human's rectum and then electrocuting them to stimulate or to simulate constipation. I mean, actually, you know what? There's people who probably do that on their own. I'm going to take that back. We don't. There's enough creeps out there that do that to themselves. Um, I take that back 100%. I am, yeah, my brain's all over the place. Um, yeah. The next thing I want to talk about briefly is this TikTok video that was sent to me this morning. Um, oh, for bloody goodness sake. Stop. You're getting on my nerves. I will bite you or tase you. I promise. Okay, sorry. Anyone who's new to this knows I am kind of new to the whole streaming thing like this, and that my family often has zero respect for me. So, this is the whole. I know yesterday 90% of Kentucky was under flash flood warning. There are quite a few roads in my area that are flooded out, but this is actually more northeast towards the almost dead center of the state, if I remember correctly. I believe this video was from near Pikesville, Kentucky. I'm not sure, but let me show y'all what the news did
Guys,
not cover.
here's what it is now. This is what it looks like now.
Oh, let me turn up that volume for you
This is an
guys.
update. It's bad. It is bad.
That is insane, the flooding they are going through.
So here we are, guys.
I can't believe it.
That is the edge of my pool.
She has an above ground pool, and this water is just flooding. Understatement. But you know what's sad is when you watch the local news, all they're covering is the flooding on the freeways or the bigger towns or the bigger cities in the area that have like the weather cams out there. They're not covering this stuff. And it bothers me because this is very similar to what we saw happen in North Carolina during that hurricane. Um, can you guys take that conversation that away? I love you guys ever so much. Go. Um, so it bothers me. And I was talking to someone who sent me this, who's out of North Carolina, and he's telling me that people from North Carolina, even though they are struggling with what they've gone through, they are coming over here to Kentucky to help people out. Oh, you're welcome, RB. I just saw your message from a minute ago. You're very welcome. And so this is again where the media is totally missing it. It's probably too early for FEMA to step in, but this nation, and I was talking to a person on my server about this in our DMs. You know, the fact that a state that's still struggling to recover from its own natural disaster is already mobilizing to help people a couple hundred miles away before the government has even done anything about it. They're already mobilizing while the government's still trying to get its ass out of get its head out of its ass and start focusing on what needs to be done. So I got to give shout out to North Carolina because it's not just Kentucky that's hit. Virginia, West Virginia, all these states are starting to help each other out because it's again, and this is February. I haven't seen. Okay, it's been a while since I lived down here, but I spend a lot of time down here, and I have family from down here. We don't get flooding like this every year. We don't get this early in the year. I mean, hell, we were under tornado watch at the end of January. I'm not used to that in this region. So I don't know. Let's go all conspiracy on this one and say it's the government playing with that what is it, harp? That thing that controls the weather. We could have fun with that. Or it could just be a natural shift in the climate, which is what I lean to. And so I just want everyone out there who's going through these weather related places, if you're in Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, you know, all those areas that are getting hit. If you guys are there, please stay safe. For the love of God, stay safe because the regular news ain't showing what is going on in these people's backyards. And I'm not out there filming where I live, but my ex brother in law was heading out and he had to take 3 or 4 different back roads to get around flooded area. So, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. Our closest major city is still only the 3rd largest in the entire state. So, we're in the middle of nowhere. And if we gotta keep taking back roads and dipping and dodging because the news ain't covering it properly, yeah, just stay safe out there, folks, and don't necessarily trust what you see on the news. And big shout out to all the states that are mobilizing and helping each other under this. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are really awesome. Um, Next topic I want to talk about is actually it was something that was put on X, and this doesn't even have to be a video. This is just going to be me running my mouth. And we briefly talked on this on my Discord server, and I want to make it into like an entire episode, or if anybody else wants to make it an episode on their podcast or whatever, I will join in. Is what is a family? There was a wonderful post that was put out. Alex Jones had made a comment about Elon Musk having so many kids, and it was great to see him repopulating. And then there was a person who replied, well, that's not family. He's just a man whore and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, what led to Elon Musk having 13 kids by 4 different women? And I think he's only been married, what, twice? Once or twice, if that. And you got to wonder, what's the psychology? Because it seems like, his parents both loved him and cared about him. I don't believe his parents are together anymore. Hold on, let me Google this. Um, Let me Google if Elon's parents are divorced. Oops, hold on. Oops, I can't type today. Okay, hold on. Let's read this. Do, 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 do. It appears they're still married. So his parents appear to be still married. And the question is then, what is it with him that led to this? Oh, his dad was too? Okay. I did not know that. And see, this is me kind of learning it as I go. So apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Got it. Okay. So thank you, Arby, for dropping that to me. And thank you, Gigi, for having that info. His dad is a weird creep too. Okay, that makes some sense. All right. um, yeah, okay. I'm trying to Google this while we're at it. And yeah, that makes sense then. Apples don't far fall from the tree. But I want to point out, like even my own family upbringing. And when I say my family was dysfunctional, it wasn't the worst, but it also was far from the best. There was a lot of psychological, emotional, physical abuse in my family growing up. So there's a lot of family trauma. And I did not want to share that with my kids. And as much as I'm divorced, as y'all know, I've managed to get past the trauma of what led to my divorce to still be friends with my ex-husband to where we live in the same house. As you guys know, he's the one that I just threatened to tase. And so if we can get past that trauma to still work together and keep the kids in a happy family setting and stuff, and I get it, not everybody has that same way, but we got to stop passing on our family dysfunctions to the next generation. So if you don't like that your family was a bunch of alcoholics, don't pass it on to your kids. Get help, get care for your alcohol problems if you have it. Teach your kids how there's such a thing as appropriate moderation. There's just so much to it that, people are out there. We all have the ideal family. We all have an image in our head, what we want our ideal family to be. but we're never going to get that overnight. Just so you guys know, that is going to take 3 or 4 generations to get to. And hold on, I'm sorry. I just caught something in the chat and I wanted to read it, and my eyes are terrible. Oh. Oh. Okay. So Elon Musk's dad is absolutely a whack job. Okay, got it. I will yeah. Um, but what I want to continue with is, we have to start the precedents. And this kind of goes off of what Arby was talking about on his podcast yesterday, setting up the moral standards and setting up a moral basis, moral foundation. If you don't like what your parents did, why the hell are you passing it on? Like, my sister absolutely hated so many things my mother said and did and raised how she raised us, just to turn around and do it to her kids. And it blows my mind. I would rather sit back and go through the hard work of catching myself and my behaviors and being aware. Like, I caught myself pulling one of my mom's numbers, and I actually stopped and sincerely apologized. And I don't want apologies with an excuse like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just a learned behavior. No, I'm sorry I did that, and I am going to do my damnedest to not do it again. And if you catch me doing it again, please say something so I can correct it. And I really think, with the way everyone sits there and complains generational traumas and this, that, and the other, well, stop bitching about it and start breaking the cycle. I know it's hard. I'm sitting here going through it every single day, breaking the constant cycle of traumas and abuse passed on by previous generations, just doing what the other one did. So quit bitching about it and make the change in yourself so your kids don't go through it. And this is why, we have to start somewhere. And this goes back to why Elon Musk may not be the best guy in the world. And yes, he's probably on the lines of a man whore. We get that. But for anyone to sit there and try and say he doesn't love his kids, I think is wrong. I'm absolutely sure that man loves his kids and he loves them so much. But I really think we need to, I really want to see a societal group therapy. Like, let's put everyone through some group therapy and get through this nonsense. Like, everyone in the town, we're going to break you up into groups of 50. And here you have Monday, you have Tuesday, you guys have Wednesday, and y'all are just going to learn group therapy and get the F over your problems of the past and move forward so your kids don't go through it too. And I don't like, people criticizing per se when obviously Elon Musk is trying to do a lot of things at once. And I get it. There was a lot of people who complained about him bringing his kid to the White House, and I can see why that's wrong. But I also see him maximizing the time he has with his kid. When you're on a parenting schedule, you got to do what you got to do. Or you start putting other projects on the back burner so you have more time for your kids. But at least he's trying. There are some parents out there who won't even take a minute to sit with their kids, let alone bring them on the job and still spend time with them every spare minute they have. I mean, seriously, I know people who have dumped their kids on me for 2 years at a time, went off to go do whatever the hell they felt like doing, get a degree, go to get a new job, find a new house. You know how many times I've had kids dumped on me for over a year and I didn't even go after the parents for child support, and they're not my kid, but I'm still going to take care of those kids because the parents ain't got their priorities straight. But the funny thing is about those people who did that, their parents did it to them. And you want to bet, how much do you want to bet that their kids are now going to do it to another generation if we don't intercept? I don't think we should be judging family by our own personal perspectives in our head. I think we need to evaluate society, get our society on the right track, and then we can start implementing what is a family structure. Because right now, we have women with 7 kids, 9 daddies, who knows? And it is a disaster. We really need to get everyone focused on the future and what we all want for our kids and how we can work together to get past it. And I know it's a big call, and I doubt it'll ever happen, even though I'm going to sit here and say it anyways. And pray to God people catch this. Maybe I'll even clip this out as an individual sub episode of what family is and what we can do to make it better. And yes, it's completely unorganized, but I will do my best here. But I really think if we start facing the crap that we claim is generational abuse and generational trauma, and we all put forth the effort to change it, I really think society would be on a better track. Good luck getting all the victimhood mentality people screaming left, right, and center about everything under the sun, from a stubbed toe being a Republican's fault to I can't do this because of a Democrat's fault. Let's put all that bullshit aside and move past it. Because I'm sick of seeing my family, my own sister, my brother, my cousins doing exactly what they bitched about their parents doing for their entire lives. Let's change it. So, um, given that, I want to cover one more thing that I can cover on here, and then I got to dip out of YouTube, and we're gonna go to Rumble only, and it'll be interesting because it's gonna get me in trouble if I am on other platforms. So if you want to see stuff that would get me in trouble on a few other platforms, jump over to Rumble. You're gonna get the best there. Um, in the meantime, this is an interesting fact that came out of Europe. And I want y'all to hear this because it is just mind blowing how stupid, I know how blind our societies are to our own hypocrisies. Let me play this, and you guys will probably get where I'm coming from and what I mean by it. But our societies are 100% blind to our own asinine hypocrisies.
In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. Obviously, this country is very different. How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for things they said on social media last year?
Go on.
Take a guess.
I have no idea.
3,300.
Really? Arrested for what they said on social media?
Yeah.
What sort of things get you
Well,
arrested?
one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell. And people can look this up. Her friend was killed in a car crash, a 19-year-old woman. And she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged, and for a year she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
My goodness.
In Britain.
In Britain.
I thought Russia was the dictatorship. I thought Russia was the bad guys. I thought China was the bad guys for that censorship of speech. I thought America was the bad ones. I thought, the Democrats were always claiming we needed to be censored like that, but they all claim it's for democracy. I'm really curious. How does censoring speech make you more free? It turns you into the dictator. And I've said this before because Ilhan Omar, and I covered this, I believe, the other day. She was sitting there bitching about Trump pulling the government out of public schools was him becoming a dictator. And no, it's not. It is the polar opposite of what a dictator is. So how the hell were these people going to sit there and say that Russia's bad, China's bad, all these places are bad when they are actually worse? How are they going to sit there and call Trump a dictator when he is far from it? He is doing the polar opposite. Well, the only reason they would do this is because they are what's the word? They're trying to gaslight and brainwash people into believing the bullshit and the hypocrisies and the lies. And I'm not okay with it. I don't think it's okay that our political officials are doing this shit. And I don't like, there's just my brain's so scattered today because there's so much that's been going on that I want to cover. And it's like I feel distracted by all of it at once. But how in the world can these people get away with this and think it's okay? How are we allowing this in our free countries? And I'm like, there's got to be a reset button for society. There has to be a reset button out there somewhere, a way to wake everyone up to the stupidity that they are blindly following. And it's the far extreme right, the far extreme left. And I was just talking about this on my Discord server. Hold on. Let me pull this up. I want to pull up this graph that was sent on my server this morning. Let me see if I can go find it really quick. Um, when you look at it this way, hold on. Yes, here it is. When you look at this graph, you're going to see how very close the extreme right and the extreme left are to each other. This is the extreme communism side, the anarchists, the lunatics, the ones out there who are everything anti-vaccine, regressive left, and then the extreme right, the fascism, the Islamics that are extremists, the nationalists on the extreme level. Look how freaking close they are to almost meeting. They are almost identical when it comes to this stuff. And I was talking about this. If you look at this side, they are all about science. This side is all about some god, a religious figure. And no matter what, you're going to find that they're going to meet at pure insanity if these two ever touch. Okay? And we've seen this happen. We've seen where extreme fascism and extreme communism met. It was called World War II. Well, part of it, World War I as well, is when those things meet. And again, how it's handled was absolutely horrible. The fear of communism led to the extreme fascism that led to the extermination of millions of people. We are so close to this again. The extreme left and the extreme right are practically agreeing, with the exception of science and God is behind it. So, I sit here and it bothers me to know our society is right there on the fringe, to where they want to do so much good for everybody else. They're willing to censor and silence as many people as possible to get there. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the YouTube just for the safety of So with that, I thank you all for showing up, being here. And as usual, stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. I truly appreciate those who showed up and those who are going to be watching later on. I will catch y'all on the next one.